Hello, Charles Warger with Christian Deer Hunters Association again. Welcome back to the Big Little Hunting and Fishing Expo, and this is the virtual version. And yeah, good to have you back here again with my friend Steve Hobby.
Yep. I'm Steve Hobby with Hobby Outdoors and Hobby Game Calls.
And we're bringing another installment of how to judge a tom, just a tip video from Hobby Outdoors and Christian Deer Hunters Association. Um, this situation, we had a tom that was all flocked up, so he had a pile of hens with him, and it was early in the season, so we knew that they were not going to be leaving for the nest. They weren't nesting yet.
Yeah,
so we
still snow on the ground.
Yep. So you can see that in the video, and we got one of our Avian X decoys set out. After seeing them from the road, we saw this one flock on the backside of a woods from the road. So we kind of snuck in through the woods, property we had permission with already, and worked in there. I think it was 10:30 in the morning, and yeah, they were going to be probably hanging out together for most of the day, just because it was early in the season yet. I believe this was our first hunt that we were with for the season with the youth that year. So it was early, and they were we knew they were going to be hanging out as a group yet. So worked to the end of that backside of that woods.
Yeah,
and
we cut through the woods there, and like you said, you saw them along that the turkey building there.
A turkey barn that they were always hanging out around in the little woods that they. There was just one big flock that was always there, a couple nice toms. So we set up the one hen. We didn't really want to do anything too aggressive. It was still kind of early in the breeding season, so they weren't super aggressive. And we were working with a group of hens and a couple toms. So we just went relatively simple and just brought one hen out there, set her up. Once we saw them, we got it out into the meadow as far as we could. And we set it up and started doing some calling. But in this situation, because he was flocked up, he had his hens. If we got real aggressive, if we tried working in some gobbles or something like that, we'd potentially be pushing him away, because he might try pushing his flock out of there, because that's his. He doesn't want to really defend, or if he can, just take him a different direction and not be have to fight over the girls or the chance of losing his hens. So we just went kind of real simple and tried being a little more relaxed. And actually, this is one of my favorite strategies, is we actually didn't talk to that tom at all. When he would gobble, there were two of them over there. In the video, you only see one, but there were two toms there, and we didn't really respond any time that they were gobbling. So anytime we heard the hens clucking, there's usually a boss hen, one that's in control, and we started working her. So every time that she would talk, if you spend a lot of time with the turkeys or around them listening to them, you'll find out that there's one that's definitely in control and kind of leading the show, and she likes to be in charge. So what we did here in this situation, again, we didn't talk to the tom. We were calling to the hen, which is kind of weird. You can't shoot the hens, but that's what we were calling. We were trying to just cut her off. So as the boss hen, she's trying to call the shots. She's in her territory. She's in charge. And every time she would talk, she'd say something. Our goal was to basically completely mimic that and cut her off. So it's one of the easiest ways of hunting, because she's telling you exactly what you're supposed to do. So if she's got a certain cadence, what I found works the best is just copy that exact cadence and cut her off before she's done. Man, does that make her mad. So you'll see, awesome. You'll see these, the hens came into our calls, and they came around the corner, and it's going to be off the screen, but they were picking on our decoy. They were pecking at its head and kind of spinning it around, and they
don't call hen pecking for nothing.
they were really upset because we were trying to display our dominance as the boss hen, and she was a little upset about it. So it ended up working perfect. So again, just another situation where really taking your time, or knowing what that flock is doing, the time of year, the situation, and how to judge that tom on what setup to do. If we had a different setup, maybe it would have worked if we would have called differently. Maybe it would have worked, but under this circumstance, it's easy for us to say now that
Yeah.
we did it
Yep.
right because it
Yep.
worked. It was successful, but
Well,
that's just one of the things.
there's been other instances too where I've called in turkeys, and like most of my success, there's toms and there's a flock toms and hens. You know, a lot of times I call in the hens and the toms just they follow them right in.
Yep. Yep.
So you gotta making those hens upset.
Yeah. So another great option for depending what kind of flock you're working with, depending what kind of tom. Just pay attention to what the circumstances are, and that'll help you set up correctly and hopefully get a good shot, just like Trevin did. That was, I believe, one of his first big toms, mature birds, and it was a lot of fun. It was real exciting getting him on that, and a lot of the fun pictures and stuff afterwards. So just a great time, another fun youth hunt. And we'll have more tips coming back on how to judge a tom here in this series. And if you're joining us with the Christian Deer Hunters Association Big Little Hunting and Fishing Expo, thank you for tuning in, and hope you enjoy the rest of your day. God bless.